You won't believe some of the mods riders are pulling off these days. We've been wrenching, riding, and swapping parts long enough to know what works and what doesn't. If you're a rider who cares more about reliability than shiny paint jobs, you're in the right place. Stick around, because we're diving into real deal mods that actually make your bike ride better, feel better, and last longer. Some might even be able to save your life. Just wait for number 1. Number 15, chain conversion or sprocket swap. Ever twist the throttle and feel like your bike's either too lazy or too wild? Here's a sneaky little trick. Change the sprockets. It's like giving your bike a different personality. Go with a slightly bigger one in the back or a smaller one in the front, and your bike takes off quicker. Want it to cruise smoother at high speeds? Just do the opposite. It's one of those mods that doesn't look like much, but the ride feels way different. And here's the kicker. Most bikes come geared for fuel rules, not fun. So with a quick sprocket swap, you unlock power that was hiding all along. So yeah, not flashy, not loud, but man, it works. You'll notice it every time you ride. But if you want the ultimate experience, for your bike to be alive, to breathe. Number 14, upgrade exhaust. This one makes your bike louder, lighter, and a whole lot meaner. You won't believe what a new exhaust can do. First off, yeah, it changes the sound, and not just louder for the sake of loud. We're talking about that deep, throaty growl that turns heads at red lights. But here's the part most folks don't know. It also makes your bike lighter. Stock exhausts are heavy, bulky, and full of stuff meant to keep emissions low. Swap it out, and you're shaving serious pounds off your ride. Less weight means better handling, faster takeoff, and smoother rides all around. Some riders even report better fuel mileage and a slight bump in power, especially when paired with a tune or air filter upgrade. And let's be honest, every time you hit the throttle and hear that rumble, you'll grin like a kid on Christmas. The best part is that there's a style for everyone. Chrome, blacked out, shorty, long, whatever look you're going for, there's an exhaust to match. But forget about style for a moment. The M-Mod coming up next has got nothing to do with looks or sound. It's all about saving your bike from a fall and your wallet from a meltdown forever. This mod could save you thousands of dollars and maybe your pride too. And right there, you see a biker riding off into the sunset. Oh wait, that's not a biker. That's the subscribe button. Chasing freedom? Click it and subscribe. Join our biker community. Number 13, frame sliders, crash protection. Here's something most riders don't think about until it's too late. Your bike tips over in a parking lot. Or worse, you slide out on a low-speed turn. You stand it back up, and just like that, you have a scratched tank, busted fairings, and bent levers. It hurts not just your bike, but your wallet too. Enter frame sliders. These little guys bolt right onto your bike and stick out just enough to take the hit if you go down. They don't look like much, but they take the beating so your bike doesn't have to. We've seen crashes where sliders save the engine case, the plastics, and even the rider's leg from getting pinned. And in fact, most of them cost under $100. That's nothing compared to a cracked engine cover or destroyed fairing. Some bikes even come with mounting spots ready to go, making installation so easy. We call them cheap insurance. You hope you'll never need them, but when you do, you'll be glad they're there. But protection isn't just about crashes. Sometimes the real danger isn't what you hit, it's what you don't see coming. But this next mod will help you avoid all that and make night riding a bit more fun. Number 12, headlights. This one helps you see and be seen. Literally a lifesaver. You won't believe how many bikes are still out there with those weak, yellow, old-school halogen bulbs. They barely light up the road, and in traffic, cars act like you're invisible. Swapping to LED headlights changes the game. We're talking brighter, whiter, and way more visible. You'll see farther at night, spot potholes sooner, and other drivers will finally notice you in their mirrors. Here's something even crazier. Some LED kits use less power than stock bulbs, so you're not draining your battery as much. Plus, most of them last way longer. That means fewer bulb changes and more time on the road. Because once you see clearly, you start noticing everything else, like how your hands sit, how your shoulders ache, how your body shifts with every turn. That's when you realize that maybe it's not the ride that's tiring you out. Maybe it's the way you're holding it. And there's one mod that will perfectly remove all these problems. You want to hazard a guess right here? Number 11. Handlebars. Ooh, I bet you didn't see this one coming. Tell you what, you might not realize it, but your handlebars play a huge role in how comfortable and confident you feel when riding. Stock bars are built for one size fits most. But guess what? Most of us aren't that one size. Swap them out for something that actually fits you, and it's like riding a new bike. You sit straighter, your wrists stop aching, and your shoulders don't feel like they're being pulled out of place after a long ride. Whether it's ape hangers, drag bars, or comfy sweatback touring bars. There's a setup out there that fits you better. Good bars don't just feel better, they handle better. You get more control, better leverage, and more confidence in turns. It's about feeling locked in, like the bike is part of you. You don't have to suffer through numb fingers and back cramps. Comfort is king, especially on long rides. But even with the perfect bars, there's still one part of your body that takes the beating, and it's the one doing all the work. Most riders ignore it until it locks up, goes numb, or worse, starts shaking mid-ride. Luckily, the next mod is so simple it almost feels unfair. But once it's on your bike, you'll never ride without it again. Number 10. Throttle lock. This tiny add-on is an absolute game changer on long rides. Have you ever been out on a long stretch of open road, hand locked on the throttle, fingers cramping up, wrists screaming for a break? Yeah, we've all been there. That's where a throttle lock or basic cruise control comes in, and it's such a lifesaver. Throttle locks aren't fancy. They're usually just a small clamp or bar that holds your throttle in place. But once you use one, you'll wonder how you ever rode without it. Let go for a few seconds, stretch your hand, shake out your arm, and still cruise steady at 60. It's the kind of freedom every touring rider needs. Now, some bikes come with electronic cruise control. If yours doesn't, don't sweat it. There are tons of aftermarket options that are easy to install and won't break the bank. But here's the thing about long rides. They don't just hit your hands. They creep up on you, mile after mile, until the next real problem shows up. You start running out of space. You start making choices no rider should ever have to make. Rain gear or snacks. That's when you realize your bike's missing something big, something built for the long haul. Number 9, saddlebags or a luggage rack. You won't believe how much more useful your bike becomes with this simple mod. Let's be honest, strapping a backpack to your back every ride gets old real fast. Your shoulders ache, your back's sweaty, and you're constantly checking if the straps are still tight. That's why saddlebags or a luggage rack are essential. Throw on a solid pair of saddlebags and suddenly your bike's not just a weekend toy. It's your grocery getter, your road trip machine, your everything. Pack your tools, rain gear, gloves, snacks, whatever. And with a rear luggage rack, now you're strapping down camping gear or even a small cooler. Total game changer. The best part is you don't need a giant touring bike to do this. There are sleek leather options for cruisers, waterproof soft bags for ADV bikes, and hard cases for sport tours. Plenty of choices that look good and work hard. Plus, no more, how am I going to carry this moments? Just toss it in and ride. This next one is for the folks who ride rain or shine, cold or colder. Number 8, heated grips. This one feels like wrapping your hands around a cup of hot coffee on a cold ride. Look, if you've ever ridden in chilly weather, you know the pain. Your fingers go numb, your throttle hand locks up, and suddenly riding feels more like a battle than a joyride. That's where heated grips step in. And trust me, once you've used them, you'll never want to ride without them again. They're simple. Replace your regular grips with heated ones, wire them in, and boom. Warm hands no matter how cold it gets. Most come with adjustable settings, so you're not stuck with too hot or too cold. Just the right temp to keep you comfortable and in control. Also, they're not just for hardcore winter riders. Even on cool early morning rides or when the sun drops during a late return home, heated grips make a huge difference. You stay focused, you ride longer, and you don't end the trip feeling like your hands went 10 rounds with a snowstorm. But here's something most riders don't realize. Cold isn't the only thing that wears you down on the road. Even when the weather's perfect, there's another invisible force that beats up your hands, your back, and your confidence. And no matter how good your tires or brakes are, this part of your bike decides whether you glide or get tossed like a rag doll over bumps and potholes. Number 7. Suspension upgrade. Most bikes come with basic, one-size-fits-all suspension. It's stiff when it shouldn't be, soft when you need control, and let's be honest, your back pays the price. But swap out that stock setup for a proper suspension upgrade, and you have a whole different animal. Better suspension soaks up bumps like they're nothing. Potholes, gravel, uneven roads. Suddenly, it all feels like a fresh blacktop. Your tires stay glued to the road, your cornering gets tighter, and your bike feels more dialed and you're not getting bounced around anymore. You're gliding. And here's the crazy part. Most riders wait way too long to make this mod. But it's one of the first things pro builders upgrade. Why? Because it changes the ride completely, without touching the engine. Whether it's adjustable rear shocks on a cruiser or upgraded forks on a sport bike, it's money well spent. Your body will thank you, and so will your tires. But wait until you see number 6. It sounds simple, but it might be the most underrated performance mod of all. It's cheap, fast, and feels like giving your bike a fresh set of lungs. See that little red thing glowing in the corner? No, it's not your check engine light. It's the subscribe button. Smash it like you're tightening your last bolt before the ride and join us. Number 6. Air filter. This little mod is like giving your bike a deep breath of fresh air. You'd be surprised how much power is hiding in your bike, just waiting for a better air filter. Most stock filters are restrictive. They're built cheap, meant for emissions, and honestly, they choke your engine more than they help it. Swap it out for a high-flow filter like K&N or BMC, and suddenly your engine gets to breathe. That means quicker throttle response, smoother acceleration, and in some cases, a small bump in horsepower. It's not just about speed either. A better air filter helps your engine run cooler and more efficiently too. The best part is that it takes like 15 minutes to install, and you only have to clean it once in a while, with no constant replacing. And if you pair it with an exhaust upgrade and a tune, then you're really cooking. These 3 alone can completely wake up your bike. But more power brings more responsibility. And if you're going faster, you'd better be able to stop faster too. That's where this next mod steps in. It's not flashy, but it might be the most important upgrade you ever make. Number 5, brakes. You can have all the power in the world, but if you can't stop quickly, you're in trouble. That's why upgrading your brakes is one of the smartest moves any rider can make. Most stock brake setups are just okay. They get the job done, but they fade fast, feel mushy, and don't inspire much confidence, especially when you're riding hard or fully loaded. Swap in some high-quality brake pads, steel braided lines, or even bigger rotors, and suddenly your bike feels locked in. The stopping power is like night and day. You pull the lever, and your bike responds, like right now. Plus, with braided lines, your brake feel stays consistent, even under heat. No more guessing, just stopping when you need it most. But what happens when the road doesn't play nice? What happens when you're flying down a back road and a deep pothole, gust of wind, or uneven pavement hits your front end? That's when things get shaky, literally, and your brakes can't save you. Even the best riders can't muscle their way through a full-blown front-end wobble. But there is one mod that can tame it, quietly, cleanly, and without changing how you ride. Number 4, steering damper to stabilizer. Here you have it, folks. Meet the stabilizer. This bad guy here is for the riders who push hard or want rock-solid control at high speed. Ever hit a rough patch of road and feel your handlebars shake like they've got a mind of their own? That's a head shake, or worse, a tank slap. And it happens fast. One bad wobble, and your ride can go from being chill to complete chaos in seconds. That's where a steering damper steps in. It's basically a shock absorber for your handlebars. Mounted across the triple clamp or under the tank, It resists sudden movements and smooths out jerky steering. You stay planted, even when the road fights back. It's especially useful on sport bikes and naked bikes, where aggressive geometry and light front ends make things twitchy at speed. But even touring and ADV riders feel the benefit when loaded down or hitting crosswinds. And once your bike feels stable, planted, locked in, that's when you notice something else. The throttle feels delayed. You twist, but it hesitates. Feels like the engine's holding back. That's not in your head. You need the next 3 mods more than you think. They don't just tweak the ride, they completely change the way your machine flies, thinks, and moves. Number 3, ECU, flashing or fuel controller install. Want real performance gains? This is where the magic happens. Let's say you've already added a performance exhaust and a high-flow air filter. Great. But here's the problem. Your bike's ECU, engine control unit, is still running the stock fuel map. That means it's holding your power back, running lean, and probably throwing off your throttle response. The fix is ECU flashing or adding a fuel controller, like a power commander or Bajaj unit. This lets you remap your bike's fuel and ignition settings to match your upgrades. You'll get faster throttle response, more mid-range power, cooler running temps, and often better MPG. ECU flashes are done via software. Some shops can even remove factory restrictions, like the top speed limiter. Fuel controllers are hardware units that piggyback on your system and let you tweak air-fuel ratios across the rev range. It's a more technical mod, yeah, but the performance payoff is massive. Smooth delivery, more torque, a bike that feels alive under your right wrist. But with more power comes more complexity. Things happen quicker now. Corners come up faster. Throttle inputs hit harder. And while the engine's thinking clearer, you start to wonder if the rest of the bike is keeping up. And there is actually one other modification you can add to make sure it is. Number 2, inertial measurement unit, IMU system. This guy here takes your bike from old school to smart bike. Think of an IMU as the brain behind cornering ABS, traction control, and anti-wheelie tech. It measures roll, pitch, yaw, and lean angle, all in real time, and adjusts your braking and throttle to match. And guess what? Some newer bikes come with it, but older ones, nope. Here's the good news. Aftermarket IMU-based systems are now a thing. Systems like the Bosch MSC or third-party add-ons can be retrofitted to many bikes. You get lean-sensitive ABS that doesn't freak out mid-corner. You get traction control that thinks, not just cuts power blindly. And if you're pushing hard, or even just riding in rain, it could be the difference between a close call and a crash. Yeah, and it's not cheap, but you're literally upgrading your bike's brain. It's like giving your ride instincts that match yours. And here we are. Time for number 1? It sounds like something out of a spy movie. Did you know that a bike rider once crossed the desert without touching the throttle or clutch? How? All because he had our number 1 mod. Get ready, this is gonna blow your mind. Number 1, auto clutch and quick shifter combo, or DCT swap. This is next level tech that'll make you rethink what it means to ride. Picture this, no clutch pull at stoplights, no missed shifts. Just smooth, blazing fast gear changes without even rolling off the throttle. That's what a quick shifter gives you. And when you pair it with an auto clutch, you've got a system so slick, it almost feels like cheating. Auto clutches, like Recluse, let you stop and go without ever touching the clutch lever. Perfect for traffic, off-road, or long-distance cruising. Your left hand is officially on vacation. Now throw in a quick shifter, and you're shifting like MotoGP, lightning fast, very smooth, zero lag. It keeps you stable in corners, faster on straights, and way more relaxed in everyday riding. And if you really want to go wild, some riders swap in a full DCT setup, like the ones Honda uses on their Africa Twin and Goldwing, fully automatic, shift paddles optional. It's not for everyone, but those who try it, they don't go back. Real riders don't stop here. The next video is where we unlock the next level of performance. Press the video to keep watching, tap subscribe, and I'll meet you in the next one.